I honestly don't even know where to begin. Episode 6 was an absolute roller coaster from start to finish. Just when we thought we had a firm grip on where the story was headed, Taylor Sheridan did what he does best, ripping the rug right out from under us in the most brutal, gut-wrenching way possible. Shocking deaths, jaw-dropping betrayals, and twists we never saw coming have officially pushed this show into overdrive. Every single moment was packed with tension, leaving us breathless, questioning who's safe and wondering just how much worse things can get. And now, as we brace ourselves for episode 7, one thing is abundantly clear: the stakes have never been higher. The war lines have been drawn, alliances are shifting, and revenge is thick in the air. Every character is standing at a crossroads, and with emotions running at an all-time high, there's no telling who will make it out alive. No one is untouchable. No one is safe. And if we've learned anything from Taylor Sheridan's storytelling, it's that mercy is never guaranteed. So what happens next? Will the Duttons strike back harder than ever? Or are they on the verge of losing everything? Who will rise from the ashes? And who will fall before they even see it coming? One thing's for sure: episode 7 is going to be a bloodbath. So buckle up, because if you thought things were intense before, you haven't seen anything yet. Let's dive in. Titled A Dream and a Memory, episode 7 synopsis reads: Jacob and his crew eagerly await Spencer's return at the train station. Tiana has a fateful run-in. Alexandra braves the cold. Let's start with Tiana, because if there's one character who has been through absolute hell and still refuses to break, it's her. From the very beginning, her journey has been nothing short of heartbreaking, a relentless battle for freedom, marked by unbearable loss and unimaginable suffering. She has lost everything. Every person she's ever loved has been ripped away from her, yet somehow she keeps fighting, keeps pushing forward, even when the world seems determined to crush her. When episode 5 ended with that harrowing shootout between Pete and Marshall Kent, I had a sinking feeling deep in my gut. Pete was outnumbered, outgunned, and sadly, my fears were confirmed. Watching him fall was gut-wrenching. Another soul stolen from Tiana, another flicker of hope snuffed out. She has already lost her family, her home, her innocence, and now the one person who fought by her side. The weight of that loss was palpable, and for a brief moment, it seemed like it might finally break her. But episode 6 didn't just leave us drowning in sorrow, it delivered swift, brutal justice. Marshall Kent's reign of terror came to a sudden and gruesome end, and while it didn't bring Pete back, there was something deeply satisfying about watching Father Renault turn on him. But let's get one thing straight: this wasn't redemption. Renault wasn't acting out of justice, remorse, or morality. He didn't kill Kent because of his cruelty. He killed him because Kent's violence was out of his control. To Renault, power was everything. His twisted version of faith wasn't about compassion, it was about dominance. And we can't forget the monstrous acts he committed long before this moment. This is the same man who murdered Tiana's father without hesitation. His hands were already drenched in innocent blood. So when Tiana finally took her revenge, when she struck down Renault once and for all, it wasn't just about survival. It was about breaking the cycle of brutality that had defined her life. It was about reclaiming her power, proving that no matter how much they tried to destroy her, she would not be erased. In that moment, she wasn't just a victim finding justice, she was a warrior rewriting her fate. And in a world as merciless as this one, that makes her one of the strongest, most resilient characters we've ever seen. But now what? Tiana may have won her fight for survival, but at what cost? She's lost Pete. She's lost her father. She's lost everyone who ever meant anything to her. Freedom, in theory, should feel like a victory, but in reality, it has left her more alone than ever. When she learned about Pete's death, she was ready to give up. And now, with her father gone too, I can't help but fear for what she might do next. But if there's one thing we've learned about Tiana, it's that she carries an unshakable will to survive. Her father's final words, urging her to endure no matter what, might be the only thing keeping her from breaking completely. And here's a theory that could change everything. What if Tiana is pregnant? We know she and Pete shared a deep love, and if she were to discover she's carrying his child, it could be the one thing that keeps her going. A symbol of hope in the middle of all this darkness. A reason to fight, not just for herself, but for the future. After everything she's lost, her family, her home, her innocence, this could be the one thing that gives her purpose beyond mere survival. If this theory holds true, I suspect she'll make her way toward Mexico in episode 7, desperately searching for a safe haven. But what if she doesn't make the journey alone? There's still a chance she could cross paths with Maui again. And if that happens, could May step in as the guide and protector Tiana so desperately needs? Tiana has been running her entire life, but maybe, just maybe, she's about to find an ally who can help her build something new. Of course, this is Taylor Sheridan's world, and peace is always fleeting. If Tiana does find a moment of relief, how long will it last before another storm comes crashing down? Now, let's shift focus to Alexandra and Spencer, two characters whose experiences in episode 6 couldn't have been more different. Alexandra has endured unimaginable suffering this season: loss, heartbreak, betrayal, near-death experiences. So when we saw her on a road trip with new friends smiling, laughing, experiencing a rare moment of joy, it felt almost surreal. For the first time in a long time, she looked free. It was a brief, fragile moment of peace. And if we've learned anything from this show, it's that happiness never lasts. From the moment that woman at the gas station warned them about the lack of fuel on the road to Montana, I had a sinking feeling something terrible was about to happen. But I never expected it to unravel so quickly. First, her friend froze to death right in front of her. Then, her husband collapsed in the snow, leaving Alex completely alone in an unforgiving wilderness. With the brutal cold closing in around her, survival seems nearly impossible. Will someone find her in time? Or is she doomed to meet the same tragic fate? The odds aren't in her favor, and it's hard to be optimistic when death seems to lurk around every corner. Meanwhile, Spencer's journey has been the complete opposite. While Alex fights to stay alive, Spencer has been gliding across the country in the comfort of a warm and safe train, completely unaware of the nightmare awaiting him back home. But make no mistake, his peace is temporary. We've seen glimpses of what's coming in the Season 2 trailer, and we know there are still major action-packed moments waiting to unfold. That means Spencer is walking straight into chaos the moment he steps foot in Montana. And if there's one thing we know about him, it's that he won't back down from a fight. And speaking of chaos, let's talk about Jack's death, because calling it heartbreaking feels like an understatement. While we might not have been shocked by his fate, the way it unfolded was nothing short of tragic. What hit the hardest wasn't just the fact that he died, but how he died. There was something painfully pathetic about it, almost more so than James. Jack was a character full of contradictions. His loyalty to his family was unwavering, his best trait, without a doubt. But his impulsiveness, his recklessness, that was his fatal flaw. Jack always believed he was invincible, that he could charge headfirst into danger and come out unscathed. But reality caught up with him, and now his death has shattered everything. As we head into the next episode, the fallout from these losses will be explosive. Tiana's future hangs by a thread. Alexandra is facing impossible odds, and Spencer is walking straight into a war zone. Will Tiana find a reason to keep fighting? Can Alexandra survive the frozen wilderness? And will Spencer arrive in time to save what little is left of his family? One thing is certain, Jack's death is the final nail in the coffin. The tension between the Duttons and Whitfield's men has been simmering for too long, and now the war is about to erupt in the bloodiest way possible. The Duttons have already lost too much, and if they're going down, they're taking their enemies with them. This isn't just about land anymore, it's about vengeance. It's about proving that no matter what hell they're put through, the Dutton name will never die. And after everything they've endured, I hope they make their enemies pay in the most brutal way imaginable. But with Jack gone and Alexandra's fate hanging in the balance, the future of the Dutton legacy has never been more uncertain. The bloodline is on the verge of collapse, and someone has to step up to keep it alive. That responsibility might fall on Spencer and Elizabeth. Now, I don't necessarily believe they'll end up together in a romantic sense, but I do think Spencer will step in as a father figure for Elizabeth and Jack's child. Ready or not, he may have no choice. This war has already taken so much from them. If there's one thing left worth fighting for, it's the next generation. It's funny, when this season started, I truly believed at least one couple would make it out of this mess alive. But now, I'm not so sure. Every love story we've rooted for has been ripped apart by tragedy, and at this point, survival seems like the only victory left to fight for. Now let's clear up those cancellation rumors, shall we? If you've been paying attention, you might have noticed something strange. While we were originally promised 8 episodes, NB has been listing only 7 for weeks. Naturally, this led to speculation that episode 8 had been scrapped. Fans started to panic, thinking we were being robbed of a proper ending. But here's the truth: they didn't cancel an episode. Instead, they merged 2 episodes into one, meaning episode 7 will actually be a massive 2-hour-long finale. So no need to worry, we're still getting the full story, just in a slightly different format. And honestly, considering how intense things have been, a 2-hour finale sounds like the perfect way to wrap up this chaotic season. With everything that's happened so far, I can't help but wonder, how will this all come crashing down? Will Tiana find a reason to keep fighting, or will the weight of her grief finally break her? Will Alexandra survive the merciless cold, or is she already too far gone? And the biggest question of all, when Spencer finally steps foot in Montana, will he be walking into a home that's already been reduced to ruins? Has he come back to save his family, or will he arrive just in time to witness their downfall? One thing is certain: episode 7 isn't just another chapter, it's the moment everything changes. The war that's been brewing for so long is about to explode, and not everyone will make it out alive. Betrayals will unfold, blood will be spilled, and by the time the dust settles, the Dutton legacy may never be the same again. We're about to witness chaos, and I can't wait to see how it all plays out. Until then, let me know your predictions in the comments: who will rise, who will fall, and who will be left standing when it's all over. And if you don't want to miss a single update, make sure to subscribe. More 1923 breakdowns are on the way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.